since the very beginning, since 46, when the British were still there. And they were trying, to come in between the Arabs and the Israelis so that they don't fight. But, they actually made them suffer. They made the British suffer. The young soldiers used to come and hide in our house because we were right at the boundaries. And they were really scared from what the Israelis used to do to them.
In 1946, the King David Hotel in Jerusalem was bombed by Zionist terrorists acting under the orders of the Jewish Agency, the highest political body of the Zionist establishment at the time. Menachem Begin oversaw this terrorist act that claimed the lives of 92 mostly British, Arab, and a few Jewish people, and wounding 58 others. This was just one of many terrorist attacks by the Zionist gangs in an attempt to drive out the British and the Arabs from Palestine. Menachem Begin later became a prime minister of Israel.
What they did to them, they used to take some of the chief police, kidnap them, and they tell them, you'll find their remains in a bag under a tree. They will go there, the British, and a bomb will explode from inside the bags. That the chief of police has been cut up and put in those bags. Horrific things that made the British actually run for their lives. They left Palestine. They left all for Israel after the Balfour Declaration.
The Balfour Declaration?
Yeah, the Balfour Declaration. But actually they deceived everybody. They withdrew and left in 47. They left everybody, disappointed, defenseless, exactly.
The conflict between the Israelis and the Palestinians seems to have become a tragic kind of national sporting event where the UN ambulances and international observers act as the referees and umpires. However, it is quite literally a game of life and death, with one side heavily armored and equipped with the latest in modern weapons, and the other side is stripped of all but pride and a whole lot of rocks. Some Palestinian militants may have some old model rifles, but they are rare. This is truly a modern-day version of the old tale of David and Goliath, with Israel in the role of the monstrous Goliath war machine, and the Palestinians in the role of the boy David, armed only with a slingshot and stones. While the entire Palestinian population is being collectively punished by the Israeli army with home demolitions, curfews enforced with tanks and guns, random shootings into crowded Palestinian streets and apartment buildings, humiliating checkpoints and crippling roadblocks, the Israelis continue to steal Palestinian land unabated while the whole world looks on without interfering. The UN continually issues resolutions condemning these Israeli crimes against humanity, and the U.S. is usually the only country to veto or abstain from voting on these seemingly unenforceable resolutions. It's not much of an exaggeration to say that for Palestinians, almost every day is kind of like a 9/11.
And the next day, the tanks, Israeli tanks, started coming in opposite our house, standing there, and the poor Arabs had only sticks to fight a tank. Yeah, they had nothing because the British has just taken everything, all weapons, everything from them. They were defenseless. Now we realize that they meant to scare us out.
Definition of ethnic cleansing. It is the systematic removal of a group of people identified by ethnicity and or religion from a certain area. This may be done through genocide, killing, or forced migration.
They put us on a freight boat ship because Jaffa is a port.
Right.
And so that was the only route we could get out. Everything else was closed, blocked, and shooting was going on, and rape and killing, and just
mayhem. Yeah.
Mayhem, exactly.
This is a bipartisan issue. And if that is the case, then we have to think seriously, not just about what happens in November, but by building a new movement in this country that is serious about putting together the resources and emotions and goodwill of people like you and me in this country and this world for a different country based upon different values, not one of exploitation and war and domination and racism and dehumanization, which is taking place in Iraq and in Palestine, but one based upon values of equality and democracy and participation and fulfillment of humankind. So I urge you all to engage in this, and we can build a better world together. A better world is possible. Thank you.